Hello, hi there. Just waiting for everything to do its thing and to start loading up. I am Brie Boucher, for those that don't know me. I am a online business manager and strategist. I'm just waiting for confirmation that it's all going in Stacey's Facebook group, which it is, so that's so exciting. Okay, so I am going to run you through a bit of a session, like it's kind of like a debrief. So I am just going to be on your screen. I won't have, um, just getting distracted by things on my screen at the moment. I won't have like any slides or anything. I'm going to be just running through everything from go to woe. I will be referencing some uh, slides, however, because I have actually like kind of developed that for this debrief. So let's just make sure I've got everything open, and I want to make sure I can see comments. So give me a minute to just set everything up and make sure it's all going smoothly. All right, so before I get started, I would like to acknowledge that I am presenting this session today from the lands of the Ngunnawal people here in Canberra. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the various lands of which you gather today, and any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people listening or watching in today. I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and acknowledge their perpetual connection to land, waters, sky, and community. I do so with gratitude and respect. Just on time, my beautiful dogs make their presence known. Of course they do. Most other days they're just silently, snoozing on the couch, but apparently not today. So as I said when I first started this live, my name's Brie Boucher. I'm an online business manager and strategist. I'm an introvert. I'm a wife. I'm a fur mama, as you can tell. I've got 2 dogs and a cat. I'm an Aries sun, a manifesting generator, a coach, an educator, a mentor, a creator, and a interior designer, just to add, a few more bows to my arrow. So is that the right? No, feathers to my bow. That's the saying. Anyway, that's me. So if you don't already know me and don't follow me, please, yeah, connect up. I am on Instagram at the Brie Boucher. My business account here on Facebook is the same handle, so at the Brie Boucher. So give me a follow if you want, and yeah, we can get connected. All right, so today, as I said, we are talking about collaborating and innovating with bundles. So for those that may not be aware, at the end of last year in December, I put together my very first bundle, and it was called A Very Merry Bundle. And when I talk about bundles, I'm talking about digital products, and it's not just my products. So often, like, we think about bundles as like bundling our own products. But what I put together was a bundle of not just my products, but a collection of other people's digital products as well. And so um, that was, I guess, innovative and collaborative. So that's why we've gone with that title today. But, it was something that I had been wanting to do for a little while. And it all kind of came together at the end of last year when I had some inspiration from another online service provider. And she, yeah, inspired me to create my own bundle. And I created as a digital advent calendar. So the idea was that from the 1st of December through to the 12th of December, one new gift was delivered every day. And so that's what happened. Now I'm just getting some messages that having some frame rate issues. So hopefully the stream's working okay for you. Let me know if you're watching this live or on the replay, just so I know that you are yeah, here and participating. Even as I said, if you're watching it on replay, let me know. Okay, so the bundle, yeah, brought together 11 other online service providers, online sort of creators, and Stacey was one of my beautiful collaborators. And it was really great and it was fantastic to put together, but man, it was a lot of work. So this session that I'm running you through today is kind of designed as part of like a bigger debrief. And if you would like to like experience this debrief in full, let me know. I'll give you some information at the end of this session of like how to get into contact and how to jump into certain things with me. But yeah, if you want to sort of hear the whole big story, then I have a whole nother like yeah session about this. It actually I had to break it into two because it was going for so long. So my plan is to develop it into a kind of like a bit of a course or something like that, as you know, self-paced, easy to run through course. That's by the by. Anyway, this is a kind of excerpt of that. So today I'll be talking about like the bundle from like my perspective, how it went, and how I feel other people can actually kind of learn from my mistakes or learn from my experience and develop their own bundle like this, whether it's a free bundle or a paid bundle. Now, just to give you a bit more background on a Very Merry bundle, if you didn't like opt in, if you weren't aware of it at the time, as I said, there was free gifts that happened, you know, every day from the 1st of December through to the 12th. In addition to that, we also offered a like premium sort of upgrade that people were able to jump into and access, you know, at a premium cost, obviously. And what that meant was there was capacity for not only my list to grow, but for myself and my collaborators to actually make some money off this bundle. So the whole point of these bundles, like creating these bundles, is to actually generate more leads in like a really quick period of time. And so I will talk you through like a bit of the stats from what I experienced. And yeah, like the idea is that, you know, the host, the person that actually sorry, I'm just getting distracted by comments. The host, like myself, the person that actually puts everything together, gets the majority, like, well, gets all of the leads for the people that come into the bundle. And then the idea is that the leads are then dispersed out by people opting into the collaborators' individual items. So if you have like a free bundle, you know, what people tend to do is they'll go through the list. So I'm talking from the consumer perspective now. People will go through the list of the bundle and just like opt into the things that sound really good and what they want. Some people will sign up for everything. You know, there's junkies like me out there that have a million courses and a million programs and a list along, you know, a mile long where, you know, we have courses and things to run through. Or there'll be people that are a bit more discerning and only sign up for the things that are relevant for them. So, yeah, with having a premium option, a premium kind of upgrade, it means that your audience gets more value if they do upgrade. You will potentially receive some income from this bundle, and your collaborators who go into that premium bundle get more opportunity to be visible and to have more leads coming their direction. So that's sort of like the grand big picture of this whole bundle kind of game. And you may have seen these like in your inbox every now and then. You might, depending on who you're signing up to, you might see people yeah, referencing like some big bundles where there's like you know, 100 odd inclusions for $100. This is not what my bundle was about. mine was designed to be a free bundle with the option of an upgrade to pay, like to purchase something, to purchase that sort of additional VIP kind of experience. So for me, it was designed predominantly to develop and to bring more leads into my audience. But also, like, I really love the idea of being able to collaborate with, a bunch of amazing people. So, yeah, that was sort of like the background to it all. And now I'm going to jump into, I suppose, some of the finer details, the kind of ins and outs of all of this stuff. So, as I said before, I'm sort of running through a slideshow on my screen. So if I'm looking away from the camera, that's why at the moment. So basically, I want to talk really briefly about the timeline. So I didn't give myself enough time to actually produce this bundle. I had the idea in I feel like it was October. Yeah, October, when I came across this other person's bundle and realized I could create something similar. So from the 10th of October, I started putting out call outs for contributors, for my collaborators to basically apply to join. And from then until the 26th of November, it was all just like, action stations to actually get this thing launched. So I officially launched it on the 26th of November, so that people were joining ahead of like the actual delivery day. So we had people signing up from the 26th of November all the way through to the 12th of December. Let me just pause and have a quick sip of my tea. Peppermint tea is always good when you're doing a bit of a talking sesh. All right, so in that time frame, like obviously I made it, I pulled it together, but if I was to do it again, I would 100% give myself a lot more time. And I will talk to that later on. I'll talk about like my, lessons, what I would do differently, what worked, and what could be improved. So I'll expand on that a little bit, but for the most part, it all came together. I suppose for me, I would want to have more time so there's more kind of grace and space for me and my contributors to get things ready. So the results. So you may be like, if you're familiar with like these types of bundles, you may think that the amount of subscribers that I got from this bundle is quite low. Or if you're very new in the online space, this might sound like a big like win. So there is a bit of comparison to, like, I suppose, consider in terms of like the audience size that we were dealing with. So the results were that I received 122 new subscribers from this bundle. And we had 383 visitors to the sales page. So that's a conversion rate of 32%, which is really quite good. And this is quite common in like the summit and like bundle space, where we have quite high conversions for these sorts of things, because obviously we're giving something away for free. People are going to be really interested in that, but not everyone converts. Not everyone's like, that's worth me giving away my email address, or they look at the page and then forget to come back, that sort of thing. So but those conversion rates are really good. We had 6 VIP premium bundles sell, and in full like disclosure, they are $100 each. And that conversion rate, so we had 6 sold, we had 54 visitors to that particular sales page. So I created a separate sales page for that, where there was like a button on the main sales page that you could then go off and have a look at it. But also we converted people into that premium bundle through emails, through on checkout there was an an order bump, which is basically, you know, an option for people to tick that they will add that to their cart when they subscribe. And there was also a upsell after the sign up. So there was three, like at least 3 or 4 different ways people could involve themselves in this offer, this premium offer. So we had about a 11% conversion rate for the premium, you know, upgrade. So one thing I want to, like, I suppose point out is just imagine this on scale. So I will talk about like how many people we had in total, you know, as a collective in terms of like our audience. We had about, I think it was like 1,500. No, that's not right. I have this noted somewhere. I just need to find the right the right section. Oh, it's on this slide. So we, as a combined audience, our email audience was 5,369. So we had about a 2% conversion rate from our email list, which is, you know, on average, that's pretty good. We would obviously want more, but, you know, that's not so bad. Like that's pretty kind of like standard, you know, you want, you know, 2 to 5%, I suppose, for those sorts of things. Now, as I was saying before, imagine this on scale. As an audience, as a collective, the people that were in the bundle, we had some people which had like over 1,000 emails, you know, on the email list, and others that had like 10 or 50 or like, you know, really small numbers. So as a group, we didn't have like the volume that you would see in some bigger bundles. So in terms of like, if we're thinking about it from a perspective of someone wanting to like put themselves forward to go into a different bundle like into the future, I would definitely recommend that. And I would look at, you know, people with, you know, the people that you're looking to collaborate with as a collaborator, not a host, that you are going in with people that have larger audiences. So the person that I was talking about that I was inspired by, she has quite a large audience, and in comparison, her leads that she generated from her version of what I did was like 6,000 subscribers. So you can see how, like, you know, at scale, it gets massive. And there's so much potential for you to just like explode your growth through these bundles. So in terms of, you know, partnering with people, you want to like find people that have a great, you know, a good audience size that's, you know, what's the word? Like that isn't in competition directly, but has a similar audience, like, you know, perspective, similar audience interests, I suppose. So yeah, that's how we did with like the free bundle and the premium. You know, we had a pretty good amount, and as I said, like if we had a larger amount of subscribers, then our premium bundle would have sold a lot more, and, you know, like at scale it just expands up. For the contributors, so from a perspective of like being a contributor in this bundle, on average, they had 24 new subscribers. So that was a 20% conversion on the total subscribers, which again is really quite good. So again, at scale, could you just imagine how good that was? And we had one of our contributors also have like an upsell sale through her product that she was offering by, you know, collecting, you know, these new subscribers. She grabbed someone and made a sale from that. So that's really amazing. I would have liked to have seen more, and I personally didn't have any like major upsells if you don't count the premium bundle. But you know, that was yeah, that was really great to see. So something that I will go into in my other, like in my main kind of like bigger debrief of this is like my results from the other bundle that I was in, but we just don't have time to go into that right now. So let's talk about the what worked side of things. So for me, what worked was my systems and processes. So I used a learning management system called New Zenler, which is like a Kajabi kind of all-in-one software that I kind of like I developed the bundle to kind of sit within that as if it was a course. And so for me, that meant that I had sales pages, I had carts, like shopping carts, I had like upsell opportunities, and then I had email automations all set up within this software. So that was really great for me to be able to utilize something like that. I used Asana to project plan and to manage my the project and the people that I was working with. And I also used my Squarespace website to create an application form. Now, something that I would do differently next time is actually to use Airtable, because that's going to give me better, you know, information and better like ways to kind of capture the application form. And by application form, I'm actually talking about the collaborators, the people that were contributing to this bundle and what they were, sort of submitting. So using Airtable would be really good. And obviously I use Canva, like who doesn't these days? Another thing that worked really well for me was outsourcing. So I outsourced my graphics, and that was really, integral for me to do. It's obviously something that I could have done and would have normally done myself, but it just meant if I had done that, I would have been way more strapped for time, and there wouldn't have been any opportunity for me to work with my clients at the same time as like planning this actual bundle. So that was like absolutely necessary. I offered affiliate marketing opportunities to my collaborators, so that worked really well. It meant that for me, it felt like there was value in what I was being gifted. It felt like a good, like balancing, kind of like leveling out the fact that I was receiving a lot of leads through other people's items, being able to have an affiliate option or program through this bundle, having that premium purchase that my collaborators were able to receive money from meant that I felt a lot better, and it was great for me to see people like getting behind. It was to help with promotional efforts. If you're going to get 75% of this ticket, this like upsell, this upgrade, then you're more inclined to like start to promote it. So yeah, that was really integral for me, and to do that. And so obviously offering a premium upgrade was super important too. It was really important for me to use an application form for my contributors to check the suitability and just make sure that we're aligned. And even though I like tapped people on the shoulder and I said, hey, I would like you to be part of this bundle, I still wanted to like see what they were going to say, what they were going to share, and just to make sure like that we were aligned, and that it felt in integrity. What also worked was having swipe copy and graphics for my contributors, so that there was, something that they could just grab and go and like use to promote. And it also helped me in like being organized in advance with my copy and my graphics. So super important for me. I also used a Facebook group just for the contributors, for the collaborators, and that was really great and super helpful, because it meant that I was able to like really quickly communicate with them about some things that were coming out, and I also used it to like rally and kind of let people know how many people were subscribing in that moment. So like every day I was going to kind of doing a bit of a leaderboard on who had had like an affiliate sale, and how many people brought in new leads and all of that sort of stuff. So that was really good. it was obviously good audience growth for me as the host, and it positioned me as an expert or a thought leader in this space. So that was made like one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this was because I wanted to have this sort of secondary offering, this sort of thing that I could be known for. And now, like, what I like to offer is the opportunity for me to like help other people to build their bundles. And so, in order for me to do that, I kind of need to experience from both sides. So, I needed to experience how it was to host one, and I absolutely am going to do these again in the future. I'm going to have at least one or two of these again. And I'm absolutely open for like a wait list at the moment for people to sign up to be collaborative in it in the future. But yeah, absolutely positioned me as like someone that is doing something different, and that kind of innovation is something that I really like love, and want to put myself out there as that sort of person. All right, so what could be improved? So I could have done a bit of a better application form for the contributors. I could have been a bit more clear on that. And this is based on like my own sort of observations and some feedback. So I surveyed my collaborators at the end to see what they felt, worked and didn't work. I would have liked to have outsourced more if I could have. And I could have done a little bit better on yeah, a few different things, like some of the sales sort of swipe copy and templates could have been improved. I would have liked to have, and I will definitely kind of make this a prerequisite before, is to have people required to promote at least via 2 emails at a minimum, so that there's like this even playing field, and like getting that commitment from people up front is really important. I could have communicated the idea better, because this is a super new opportunity experience for a lot of people in this space. While there's obviously a bunch of people doing this at the moment outside of my audience. A lot of the people that are connected to me, and know, like, and trust me, don't really understand or haven't understood this process for like as a whole. So some people got it and were like, yep, I understand what's going on. And other people were like, I don't quite understand like the nuances. So that's something for me to like learn from, and like really do a little bit more about the educational side of things. And so like this debrief is clearly one of these reasons that I'm doing it. So I can kind of give people like the full 360 of it all. A big thing that I need to improve next time is to niche and target the audience better, because the size of our audience as combined was not huge. Like, I know 5,000 sounds like a lot, but we're talking about like hundreds of thousands of people potentially in a pool when we're collaborating in larger opportunities. So when we have a small audience like that, not having it super niched down, and like it was a little bit too vague because it was pitched to online business owners, and that's just not clear enough. And I suppose some of the inclusions maybe weren't cohesive enough. So that's something that I'm learning on, and like really making sure that I do next time. And so that would be like a big one for you to take away if you're thinking about what else you could do. What else? I would have liked to have had a larger selection of premium items. So in the premium bundle, it was priced at $100, and we had six contributors, so 6 different items. So looking at that now, I would have liked to either have like double the amount of items for $100 at least, or maybe dropped the price to $50. So like having a bit of a reflective look at that, that probably would have felt a lot better. But I had already put out that the price was going to be $100 to the collaborators, and that the percentage would be 75% for an affiliate. So I wanted to, had to stay true to that, even though I didn't get, more submissions, if that makes sense. And just basically like learning to simplify this process for the contributors more into the future. So that, yeah, there's a lot more I could go into detail, but we just don't have time today. What I won't do again, so not giving myself enough time. So I would absolutely give myself a whole lot more time, at least like 90 days for this process would be really important. And like being able to, yeah, like plan it out from my perspective, but also for the contributors, for them to like get their stuff together. It's a big thing, and it takes a lot of like steps. I know I'm in like bundles and like summits now, and there's a lot of moving parts for me as a contributor within those. And so I understand a little bit more about like how much time people need and want to give more people more grace. The other thing is I wouldn't, this like moving forward, I wouldn't pitch to so many people that had small audiences. Now that's not to say I won't allow people with small audiences in the future, but I want to have a better balance, and that would be something that I would definitely like recommend for you, if, particularly for your first bundle. Have Go out there and like pitch to people that have big audiences. You don't know what's going to happen. They may very well say yes, and that will really increase your like volume of like people sitting there and watching you, and like potentially opting into things. So um, by all means have a balance of the smaller folk, because like if I wasn't involved in bundles when I had a smaller list, I wouldn't have been able to grow as quickly, so in terms of my email list. And so yeah, like that, you want to have a nice balance, I suppose, on that. Okay, so lastly, my top 5 tips for hosts. If you're going to put together a bundle yourself, these are the 5 things that I want you to like take a note moving forward. So firstly, make sure you include something in your bundle that is relevant for your business moving forward. And remember that like you may also want to have some bonuses in the bundle from you to like further kind of like give people opportunities to get to know what you're about, and like some of your services, like not necessarily services, sorry, digital products that you have already. So remember, you want to like make sure it's going to be something that you want to work with people into the future on. So yeah, make sure it's like something you're like super excited about, and like that you want people to be involved in. Number 2, pitch to a bigger audience than yours, but find a balance. So like I said just before, yeah, you want to make sure that you're finding big kind of like big name people that like have large audiences that you can see, but also your friends or your like colleagues that have similar levels of size audiences to you when you first started out. I want you to make sure, number 3 is make sure your systems, automations, workflows, funnels are fully operational before you get started, to make sure you get the most return on investment of like putting your effort into this bundle. So I had an idea to like create a bundle when I first started my business, and I didn't do it, and I'm glad I didn't do it at the time, because my business and like my brain was not equipped for the scale of what I was involved. I didn't have the systems in place. I didn't have the automations and the like I didn't have New Zenler. I didn't have all of the bits and bobs that needed to be in existence for me to be able to do this well. And so it's a big like opportunity for you to show the world like how good you are as a host. And if your systems don't work well, then you're going to struggle to like get people to sign up, firstly, make those premium sales, but also you're going to present yourself as like a little bit shoddy, a little bit shit, and like didn't put enough effort in. So 100% make sure all those systems are ready to go and everything's like top notch. As I said before, number 4 is planning with plenty of time, 90 days, 12 weeks ideally, to give yourself all the time that you need and all the time that your host needs, plus to ensure your audience is prepared for this big thing that you're putting out. It's a big launch. And then lastly, number 5 is the Facebook group to rally and update contributors was really, really important. And I wouldn't do anything like this again without having something like that as a space for me to keep in contact with my people. So those are my top 5 tips for how to host your own bundle. I am going to sign off pretty much now, but before I go, I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about if you were thinking, if this has kind of given you a bit of a moment to think about what you could do yourself with creating a bundle, and you're like, oh, that could be cool. Am I ready now? Do I need someone to help me do that? Then please reach out to me. I'm going to drop a link at the end of this, which has all of my links involved, as how you can sign up for my email list, how you can get some freebies, how you can book a consult call with me. And I would love to hear from you if you're thinking about this as an idea. We can talk about it on a consult call and figure out if you're ready, and if you can, if you are ready for me to help you, plan it and set it in stone and get it out there. I'd love, as I said before, for you to join my waitlist if you want to be notified when I run my next bundle or summit. So just send me a DM or comment below if you're interested. I also have a private podcast, which you will see on the link that I'm going to share with you. There's a button that says, what is it called? The Soul Driven Business Private Podcast. So on there, the last episode is my 10 bundles do's and don'ts. So if you want to go a little bit deeper in this, subscribe to that and listen to that episode. It's really good and expands from this session. And otherwise, that is me done. If you have any questions, I know that we don't have too many people watching live today, but when you're watching the replay later on, by all means, ask any questions through this, send me a DM, get in touch. I'd love to talk to you about bundles generally, and how we can kind of get you out and having more people coming into your email list. So I'm going to finish it there. Thank you, Stacey, for having me, and I'm glad you could make it as well. I'm so glad, yes, you're safe and everything's, hopefully going to stay okay up there for you. And I loved having you as part of the bundle as well. So thank you so much. I'm going to finish it there. I will see you guys in the future. All right. See ya.